Hello viewers at home, my name is Esther Ogu, a founder of Esther Child Rights Foundation, a human rights organization. We fight for the rights of the people, such as children, women, and other related matters on human rights violation. We're based in number 91 Abeokuta Expressway, beside Zenith Bank. And here with me,
I am Mrs. Tony Shinyeri. I'm also a human rights activist. I'm a mother of two. I'm a staff of Esther Foundation.
I'm Faith Anyika Ibe, mother of four. I'm a human rights activist and also working with Esther Child Rights Foundation.
Today we are talking about sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse is global, is a social phenomenon that exists in every society that accepts aggressive behavior on gender equality. And to talk about sexual abuse is a child molestation. It's also a violent act done to a man or a woman, regardless of your age. Anybody can be a victim of sexual abuse.
Rape can be found as having sexual intercourse with someone who did not give a consent, as in somebody did not allow you to have sex with him or her. It can be a child, it can be a girl child, it can be a boy, but you forcefully take advantage of that person. So that is rape. For example, we had a case of a 3-year-old child that was raped by a man of 37. In fact, when they called us for this case, it was really terrible, because I can't understand how a man of 37 will rape a child of 3. And when we got to the premises, it was so terrible. In fact, we have to carry the child with the blood, everything on her body, down to the station. And that is where I'm still talking about the issue of rape. Parents need to take care of their kids. They will succeeded in making sure that the matter gets to court, and the guy is still serving his terms. He's still in prison as we speak.
We have another type of sexual abuse, and it is gang rape. Gang rape is a situation whereby somebody is sexually harassed by more than one person. That is gang rape. And we have in this office an example of a lady of 23 years who is still a virgin that was sexually harassed by 3 able-bodied men, to the extent that she was forced to take Indian hemps before she was sexually harassed. And up to this moment, as I'm still talking to you, she's still mentally derailed. But we thank God that when we are involved in the case, we make sure that the culprit was arrested and is still in prison till death.
In addition to that, we also have serial rape. Serial rape is a rape that is done continuously. For instance, you rape a girl this month or this week, the upper week, the same person keep repeating it over and over. So that's what serial rape is all about. And we have a very clear case on that. Like a case, something like this. She's a 14-year-old girl. She was serial raped by her stepfather. had abortion for him twice. So that is exactly what we are talking about. Even when it happened or when it started, the mom always go to church. So it happened. So that's what serial rape is all about. Being raped repeatedly. That's what it is. So you can look at this. The case is already in court and is in publication.
Yeah, there are so many ways to prevent sexual abuse. Number one, I would say, for example, that parents need to be close to their kids. There must be this, consciousness about parents relating things to their kids. They have to start teaching them sex education. That's number one. How to prevent sexual abuse. Another thing I'm looking at, the cordial relationship between a mother and a child needs to be there. Because I know that there's some kind of parents that are too harsh. They don't even want their kids to relate to them. They don't want to listen to them. Like recent video that I posted from Ghana, a lesson teacher comes to the house to teach the child. And by the end of the day, he will give the child his manhood to suck. And all the sperm goes inside her. And anytime the lesson teacher comes in, the child will start crying. The mother will start beating her as if she doesn't want to learn. So at this point, parents need to be close to their kids. They should teach them sex education. They should always have a listening ear to their kids, because it will go a very, very long way.
The civil servant, the working class ladies, they believe that they have nanny at home, they have maid at home, they can entrust their children, the male child, to them to take proper care of them. Like there's a case that we had here some time ago when a woman left her male child with a maid. She bathes him, dresses him up, and take care of him, not knowing that each time she left this child with the maid will always be tickling with her manhood. You understand? Be sucking it. At a very tender age, you start seeing the child, you start seeing the manhood growing bigger than the age of the child. And because the mother doesn't stay at home, she hardly come back in time to check on her child. They think continuously. You find out that this child is suffering psychologically. This child is affected, and by the time this child grows into an adult, it will have an impact on him. So parents really need to be closer to their children.
There are many ways to prevent sexual harassment, mostly the area of children, because the reason why we are hammering on the area of children is getting too much these days. And that's why we want our parents, especially mothers, to be careful. To be careful of people you keep your children for. To be careful of how you talk to your children. To be careful of what to do at home too. Because sometimes parents will be playing their own games without minding whether children are watching or not. At that tender age, they are seeing what is happening. And sometimes they want to practice. So be careful of whom you entrust your child into their hands. And again, teach your child whom to go to and whom not to go to. Tell the child how to protect him or herself when you see some kind of persons or around him or her. Teach your child how to seek for help in situations like this. So we need parents to open up, to wake up, and to open up too. Allow your child to be free with you. Let your child be free talking to you and flow very well with you. Let that relationship be cordial.
Isolation, you have bitterness. Any child or any woman that has been sexually abused is always bitter. You have depression. You have anger. Even attempted suicide.
Loneliness too.
You see that child being lonely, moody, aggressive. Sometimes it leads to alcoholism.
Even suicide.
Person.
Even suicide too.
It also leads to premature prostitution.
Okay. So we have a whole lot of it.
First thing the parents have to do is to make sure that they take the child to the hospital. That is the first thing, to seek medical attention, which is very, very important, because that medical attention will make them to understand whether their child is sexually assaulted. Even a woman too, because women are being raped too. Married women are being raped. Ladies are being raped. So once such a thing occurs, first thing is for them to go to the hospital. And please, if they are going to any hospital, let them make sure that they go to general hospital, because that is one the court recognize, the government, the whatever. So before they can now report to the authority.
Every person that has been sexually harassed need treatment, because you might say that you don't want treatment, you don't want people to know this or that, but you don't know what the person that have violated you sexually has in him or her. So you need to go for checkup, for several tests, and repeated the tests after 3 months to know exactly your health condition. And again, if there's any treatment, especially children, they need to be treated thoroughly to avoid any infection or whatever that is needed to do.
The signs of sexual abuse on children or adults, especially the area of kids, is very obvious. You can notice it. For example, when a woman goes to work and probably leave her child behind, a female child for example, then the child was okay when you left, then coming back home, number one sign that you know when a female child is abused, the way the child be walking. She will start walking as if there's a boil in between the two legs. And apart from that, you will see the area that is the private part will be reddish. And in some occasions, you start seeing discharge. The child will start discharging. And sometimes you see a child running a heavy temperature. Because recently we handled a case, the one that happened in daycare, a young 3 months old baby that was raped in daycare, in the premises, in the same place where she had been taken care of. And there was a guy who was working in the daycare. It was the same guy who's supposed to protect the little girls in that place. It was the one that raped her. We are talking about 1 year and 3 months. And when the mother came in the afternoon to pick her child, he found out that the child cannot stand anymore. And she found out that there was a heavy temperature. That is one of the basic signs that you need to know as a parent. So when she took her home, the temperature continued. It's okay, let her just better to see if the temperature will go down. Immediately she stepped out and see blood coming out. So from there she knew that there was a problem. So sexual assault, you will know those signs are there. It's not hard. And another thing you discover, the hymen of a child will be destroyed, because once that hymen is cut off, that is the virginity, that is the main virginity. That child is no longer a virgin. So parents need to take, caution about all these things.
Right? We have emotional part of it, emotional sexual abuse. Emotional is act of confinement, verbal isolation, and depression, psychological trauma. The person will no longer be herself. Let's say if the person is still a teenager, it might go a long time. She might grow with it, she might get married, and you began to see her acting wild, even in her husband's home. At every little thing, she began to mark. Because that trauma is there. She's no longer herself. She doesn't reason well, she doesn't think well. She's just not herself. Bitterness. You understand? Belittling, bites, what is it? Ridicule. At every little thing she ridicule, a whole lot. She might even attempted to take her life if care is not taken.
In addition, some lady or girls will refuse to marry based on what they've seen. They believe that all men are the same. They will vow for their life never to have anything to do with marriage, and it's too dangerous.
We really need to be supportive at this point, because sometimes they feel dejected, they feel disheartening. So we need to give them maximum love. The parents need to be there for them. We need to tell them that they have a bigger dream. We need to tell them that they need to stand up for themselves, regardless of what might have happened to them. We really need to tell them that they can live a life of their own. A life that they can make a formidable impact in their generation, regardless of anything. We just need to be there for them. We need to assure them that their life is safe. We need to assure them that their future is still bright, no matter what.
One of the things that, we have to show them love. We have to care for them, as you said. But one of the things that I need to point out here is that when a such a thing happens in the community, they should not carry it that is in between the community for everybody to know. That is where the stigma coming. People now begin to get scared about the community.
Exactly.
You understand? They begin to get worried. To come out is a problem. So once it happens, the first thing any parent needs to do is to just take the child to the hospital and make sure you report to Human Rights Police Station, but don't let the community know that such a thing happens to that child, because before you know it, everybody will be aware, and the child or a woman will not be free in the neighborhood where it happens. Like, for example, a baba that raped somebody's wife, that was what happened. The baba was the one that was even telling people in the community, yes, I did it. And because of that, the trauma, everything, they have to move from that community to another place. So at this point, we need to show love. We don't have to let the community to know that she or he has been sexually abused. They should open up. Always open up. Because the truth of the matter, if you don't open up when such a thing occurs, you will carry it to your life. It's a lifetime thing. But if you share it with people who understand these things, it will be as the weight will leave you. But if you keep it to yourself, either you die gradually. Because when you open up, you see a lot of counseling coming up. You see a lot of counseling. People will advise you, people will tell you what to do, people will tell you, don't worry, it has happened to somebody else before, your own will not be the same, the last, neither will it be the first. You understand? But by the time you open up, you find out that the weight is already gone.
The family should please take care of the victim. Make sure, as my colleague says, don't expose it to people, and report to the appropriate authority. Go to the police, go to the human rights organization who will help you to fight the cause. Don't keep quiet. Don't keep it to yourself, because as you are keeping it, things will be spoiling. And it might lead to something that will damage the life of the victim. Again, another advice. Some of the parents believe that I have only boys. I don't have a girl child, so it's not made for me. Boys are now, these days, being sexually harassed. So no matter the kind of gender you have, please take care of them. And if your child happens to be one of them, or you happen to be one of them, don't think that this is the end of life. don't think that your child can never be one. And to some parents and guardians, when a child is being harassed sexually, they used to beat the child, thinking that is the cause, the child is the cause. No, it's not their mate. They don't want it. Please don't add more trauma to what they are already going through. Help them to get away from this horror. Thank you.